High five a year. I got audio coming with that actually here real soon. Welcome to NHL. It's easy for me to say. Welcome to NHL Nightly. I'm your host, Jeremiah Maxwell, aka the Sports Beard. With me, as always, Steve Duncan, Pearlo Wisdom, handicap extraordinaire, and Rico and Barry. Everybody excited for the last week of hockey for a while. We're gonna have the Four Nations break. Hey, Will, how's it going? Welcome, Midnight Sam. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. Jordan Kyrou to the Highlanders. Yeah, that could happen. We'll look at that. But we actually have a little bit of breaking news tonight. The Elias Pettersson deal broke. He gets traded. We knew this, right? But he gets a deal done. And our good friend Chris Johnson, not our good friend, but we'd love to have Chris Johnson on from sometime. Chris Johnson, I believe, works for TSN, but SDPN. Here is the extension right here. So they make the trade and they sign him to a 6-year extension at 5.5.
Marcus Pettersson.
What did I say?
Elias. There's two other Eliases there.
I meant the other Pettersson. Oh my gosh.
We're good.
Yeah, so what do you guys think?
I think that's a steal.
Yeah.
Absolute steal. I can't
HCH is in the chat already correcting me if I said Elias. I'm sorry.
I think Pettersson needs to fire his agent. That's an absolute steal.
I think that's a great deal for the Canucks, and I think that's actually probably I'm just going to leave it on the screen for a while, guys, while we talk about this. I don't hate this deal for the Canucks.
I love it.
I do agree with Arthas. He says too many Pettersson. That's probably true.
No, that's a great deal for that defense. And I think there's going to be another domino, or Vancouver's going to have to do something with that in Carson Soucy, because his ice time dropped. Like, he's playing a little over 13 minutes a night now. He was over a 20-minute guy before, so he's in the second year of a 3-year deal. So he's got an AAV of 3.25 right now. It's just wondering if Vancouver's going to maybe make a move with him going forward after this Pettersson signing.
With Soucy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for sure they've made it known that Soucy is on the block and that he's on, I think even made Saravelli's trade targets list, which is really confusing to me. He was so good for them in the playoffs and stuff last year. I thought he was excellent. He's one of those defenders, you're not going to hear his name a lot, but he keeps people off the scoreboard. And I thought he was pretty good for Seattle too. So there's a guy, if you're looking for a defender that can maybe bolster your roster, there's a guy you got to like if you're defensive needy, right? I feel. Any more? Do you guys want to spend any more? Okay, we have a bunch of questions. Do I think Carson Soucy is a fit for the Blues? What do you guys think?
The Blues have a veteran decor. They got a lot of older guys there, and just tough staying healthy as well. So I mean, more depth in St. Louis, the better. They got my boy Tyler Tucker playing there, so I'd like to see him keep up his ice time. But I mean, Soucy would definitely be a fit for St. Louis.
Darkness, our resident Blues fan, says no. Darkness, you're not down with that. So Elias Nils Pettersson, Carson, is it Soucy a right shot guy?
Soucy's a lefty, I think.
Is he?
He had a good year last year in Seattle, but he's had a down year here in Vancouver. So,
Well, last year he was with Vancouver.
or sorry, when he was in Seattle, and last year in Vancouver. That's what I meant to say. But this year he's had a down year, so I don't know what that's all about. But
they haven't played him, Pearlo. It looks like he's kind of been the odd man out. I don't know what his stats are.
Yeah, his underlying stats are not very good this year, but I can't see how he couldn't get back to that if in the right environment.
He's got like 8 points. I mean, he's
never been a point producer, but he's always been a pretty decent possession guy. But he hasn't been this year. Hasn't been good for him. So, but I mean that happens, and you move somewhere else, and all of a sudden you bounce back, and you're in the right spot. And
how would you
any team out there?
How would you like to be an announcer calling the Canucks? You have Marcus Pettersson and Elias Nils Pettersson, 29 and 25 respectively. Tough to check. They're that different in numbers. They both play defense. I mean, I'm sure they're different looking, but so obviously they're playing him now, or they will play him if Vancouver plays the next day or so because Quinn Hughes has been good. So Darkness says our left side is Letty, Suter, Broberg, Tucker, Fowler. If he was right, shot D, I'd consider, but he's not interested in Susie. Okay, well, call Doug Armstrong, let him know. Let him know. If Calgary is serious about Cousins, would they move Anderson, I wonder? It sounds like they want to keep Anderson and he wants to stay there, Arthas, but I'm not sure. What do you guys think about Susie? Or, I'm sorry.
About Anderson. Yeah, Rico and I are on the same page here. I think that's who they want, but I don't think Calgary does it. I think this is a quick rebuild for them, and Anderson is like a heart and soul guy there. He loves Calgary. He loves everything. And those are hard to find, kind of. Like, they've already lost a couple veterans, and they don't want to. I don't think they want to trade a guy that loves being there as much as Anderson does. But I think Buffalo that's who they're centered on to try to get, because it'd be perfect for their lineup. What do you think, Rico?
Yeah, and I think Calgary's depth is coming too. I mean, Kadri's there, you got Connors there. I think you got some centers coming in Calgary where I don't think you need to make a move for Anderson, and he wants to stay. So anytime a guy wants to stay in a city like Calgary, loves the place, Exberry Colt, just a smart defenseman that's willing to grow with the team. Doesn't want to go anywhere, I don't move him.
Anderson is one of those guys you keep top 4 right shot D, soul the team. I'm keeping him personally. I don't disagree, Darkness. I think that's a good one. Blended says this one's for my main man, Jeremiah. I heard Cousins of first and Benson for Ovi. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, buddy. Yeah, I love it, Blended. Yeah, it's good. You got me to laugh, so that's good. Big Willie Styles, thank you. Everybody hit the like and subscribe. You know what, Big Willie, I can actually kind of see. Big Willie, who is that in the picture with you there? Tell us who that is. I was wondering who that like giant chipmunk is in the photo there with you. If you don't know Big Willie, I know him from like every show. He's in the chat on every show. He's in Chicklets Game Notes. He's in Jeff Merrick's Sheets, the Sheet. He's in Daily Face Off, Morning Cup of Hockey. He's in Daily Face Off Live. He's in everything. So he's he's from Minnesota, diehard hockey fan. And I think you're a Wild guy, right, Big Willie? Correct me if I'm wrong. I personally feel that the Frost deal and Cousins yeah. You know what, though? I've heard that's not true, Darkness. I think I think Calgary's looking to add. And I have to say, they looked really bad against the Leafs last night, but they got contributions from Frost and Farabee. They just turned the puck too much over. We could talk a little bit about that game. Rico, were you able to watch any of that game, or because you were out, you didn't get to see any of it?
Yeah, I watched it at the bar. So between that and playing music bingo and just entertaining the wife's friends and stuff out at the pub I kind of watched parts of it, but not
Andrew says,
not in what I used to do.
So I wanted to bring something up to that. That's part of my thing. Nylander had never scored at Scotiabank Saddledome ever, and he ends up with a hat trick. Has anybody done a bigger 180 and within the fans' eyes than Willie Nylander?
Yeah.
I just remember them saying we got to trade him, we got to get a D for him. I will say though, however you had the deal Willie Nylander for Alex Pietrangelo ever actually come to fruition, that would have been good for the Leafs. They could have used Alex Pietrangelo. Sorry.
Is there anybody in the league that celebrates his goals like more nonchalantly than Willie Nylander? Like act like you've been there before when you score, they say, but like I love it. He's cool as a cucumber.
That's the boss.
I think enjoy the goal. I mean, you don't have to celebrate it like it's Game 7 of the Stanley Cup or Theoren Fleury sliding across the ice, which was one of my favorite celebrations. But you know, like I like that Ovi celebrates every goal, whether it's one of his buddies on the team like it's his own. I mean, that's what you're out there to do, is score goals. Sometimes it's like, okay, you know, like the empty netter he scores, yeah, whatever, dap up. They're not running around celebrating like it's Game 7. It just depends. But
it's a personality thing, I guess. You know, everybody's got their own personality and character. And
Mike Bossy was like that. He used to score like, yeah, okay.
But that was in the 80s, Perlo. Like you weren't allowed to have fun.
I know, but there was a lot of guys that celebrated back then, but Bossy didn't. Like, he almost like felt like he apologized. Like,
my friends sent me this, the tap people at Char, which is, if you're not familiar with it, it's Alaska Char. It stands for cabaret. I can't remember it all. Anyway, if you were born on this day, so if you were born February 5th, 2004, you can buy alcohol in the U.S. You're 21. Can you believe that? Anyway, which bar did you go to last night, Rico? That's coming from Andrew. He wants to know. Anyway,
it's called Malone's Pub, Doc Malone's. It's like an old house turned into a bar. It's a wicked spot, locally owned, and good food. And yeah, good times.
That sounds awesome. Sounds like a place I would go, even though I don't partake in the alcohol. Or for the most part, I'll have a beer here or there. Colorado is still going to make a big move. They've got to blended. Colorado scored like 15 goals in the last like 10 games or so. They have not been good, and they're losing to teams they should not be losing to. All of a sudden, maybe I think it's going to just take some time with Netchus. Again,
we lost him.
I don't know what happened there. That was odd. I don't know how I did that. I just got booted from the chat. I just got booted. It could happen, guys. It could happen. We could just be gone. You never know. It's the gopher from the mascot. Thank you there, Big Willie. That makes sense. Okay, the Minnesota Golden Gopher. Okay, Big Willie, makes sense. Total sense. I thought you were at like, what's Vacation? Remember National Lampoon's Vacation? I thought it was, I can't remember what the thing was. So, okay. You feel like the Hurricanes won't be very active. I've heard they might try to move Arloff.
I heard that today somewhere that if they don't get talks with Rantanen going, that they might flip them at the trade deadline. I don't know where I heard that today, but it was on the Fan 590 or somewhere. All of a sudden, they're trying to get Rantanen signed here before the trade deadline. And
it would be a massive mistake if they make that trade, move out a player as high quality as Natchez and Jack Drury, who's a good role player, to not do it. So I don't expect the Blues to do much. Maybe move Sutter and Fosca, but that would be about it. Yeah, so Darkness, I heard that the move that HTH brought to my attention, and that came from Steven Rosner, and we'll bring it up since you brought it up here. Shoot, I don't know where he sent that to me. I apologize for the delay here, guys. Oh, here we go. So Steven Rosner wrote an article, and we'll go to the article. Steven Rosner covers the New York Rangers. So here, I'll put this up on the screen for you guys here, and we'll just discuss. And I do want to get to a couple other news and notes things that I had in the thing. The big one being Sidney Crosby out, missed practice. They got hurt in the game. I watched it. So Stefan Rosner, if Islanders wanted to recoup wanted to reward his group for how they played since calendar flipped 2025, he could have his eyes on St. Louis Blues forward Jordan Kyrou, which I've heard they've been trying to trade Kyrou. I've heard like back channels to fill the Matthew Barzal hole. And we'll click on the link here because he basically says, because it looks like Barzal's going to be out. So he just says Anthony Duclair is an internal option, is being given a chance on the top line, obviously there. Barzal's going to be 9.15 off the cap. Some big names, Elias Pettersson, obviously. Mitch Marner or Leafs. Wouldn't that be interesting? What would I think if the Rangers or the Islanders had more healthy D prospects, and if Barzal was healthy, maybe the Leafs make a move from Barzal and like a couple defenders or something. Pettersson is so Marner, we know that, but he says, why would the Blues trade for the Blues are in the first season of Jim Montgomery's tenure, and this team is currently 6 parts out of a wild card. Will likely go to significant change going forward. Kyrou's full no trade clicks in right there, right before this year ends. So in an interview last year, Jim Rutherford said he thinks there's a 50-60% Kyrou is moved before his no trade kicks in. So he's kind of been on the record there. The Athletics, Jim Rutherford, excuse me. Okay. And if that NTC still hasn't kicked in, St. Louis Blues fans in the cards, hopefully Jordan Kyrou is still alive. So we'll see. He said, I think he meant to say Jeremy Rutherford, and I said Jim. So Jeremy Rutherford is the Athletic writer. So, and there you could go out and find this. I will back this to the thing here. We'll leave that on there for a bit and we can discuss it. But I don't know, man. I could see Doug Armstrong not wanting to get caught.
Yeah, I looked at that when you said that. I looked up some maybe trades that could happen. I was thinking like that George kid in a first or something like that for Kyrou. They just got a bunch of defensemen. Maybe George kind of gets pushed out a little bit. He did well up when he was up, and he looks like he's going to be a good prospect. And he's a righty, as our friend in the chat said. St. Louis is looking for righties and probably young players. So George in a first, and that gives them cap room and maybe fill up, because I think they like that Bulldog kid quite a bit, and I think they might think he's ready to move up to that right side. Gives them some cap space to help themselves out in the summer if they need to, and still keeps them fairly competitive right now. So, yeah, that's an interesting trade. And for the Islanders, they get a young kid who can score 30 goals. I mean, they need goal scoring in that lineup. So, even if when Barzal does come back, it's like getting a first round pick anyways, because if you can get a Kyrou kind of person at that pick, you're happy, right? So I think that makes a lot of sense for sure.
Kyrou is very fast, and that's what the Islanders lack.
That too.
Got an amazing shot too.
Yeah. He is very fast. Yeah.
Are we thinking that Barzal's not going to be back even if the Islanders make the playoffs?
It sounds like that. It sounds like if he is back, it would be playoff time. So Darkness says, I'd honestly probably consider doing George and a first for Kyrou, as Jimmy Snuggerud would likely take most of Kyrou's production next year. Yeah, you got to make room for Jimmy Snuggerud too. You got guys coming.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you have to offload Kyrou to do that, though. So,
yeah.
Look, when we talk about this stuff, guys, we know it's probably an outside shot. It's just fun stuff. Let's get into a little bit of my news and notes. We'll leave this on here if people want to talk about it. So Crosby out. That he got hurt. I saw him. He left the game. He came back and finished the game. Did you guys see the play? I don't know if you saw the play.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to trade Thomas. I just don't think they'll trade Robert Thomas, Midnight Sam. Yeah. So Blues would want way more than George at a first. You never know, Blended. You never know. You never know. I'm guessing that there would be a defensive player in there in the mix there, but boy, you guys have to give credit. I mean, look at Tony D'Angelo's looked really good. The Islanders just beat Vegas 2-1. So, I mean, what are we doing here? Oh, let me here's a quick scoreboard update. If you didn't see earlier, the Rangers won 3-2. Artemi Panarin, Pasta, Lindholm, and good to see Lindholm get on the board for Boston. Then Chris Kreider scoring a shorthanded goal. That was huge. So, yeah, Mike Sullivan, that your guess is as good as mine. Are you Pittsburgh Penguins head coach Mike Sullivan? Maybe you can give us a heads up on what's happening with Sidney Crosby. So
like, is it showing what's going on with Crosby? I saw the play and it looked like he hyperextended his shoulder a little bit. And usually when somebody's keeled over, like holding their elbow a bit, it's kind of like trying to brace their shoulder. I don't know if it's the mild dislocation or just like.
Yeah, I worried that maybe he popped his shoulder, like his thing out of the socket or something. I don't know. It looked really weird. Obviously, he didn't go down or anything. He just kind of got sandwiched in. His arm sort of got sandwiched in there. So I'll try to find the video, guys. HTH says George Mayfield in a first for Kyrou. So Mayfield, George, Mayfield, and a first.
Yeah.
So
who says no?
Yeah, who says no?
I think the Islanders.
Nelson to the Wild. I'm sure you guys want the War Road, Minnesota. By the way, War Road, Minnesota's got about 3,000 people. I think they have a U.S. Olympian. They've got TJ Oshie and they've got Brock Nelson, both from War Road. So lots of Olympians have come out and NHLers. So, Andrew, I have always lived in Alaska. I don't know. I don't know. I have not moved, man. If you saw Hot Take Hockey in the, if it came up as Hot Take, it's me talking in the chat.
Oh, maybe
so
Hot Take moved
so
to Alaska.
Hot Take Hockey still lives in the GTA. He still lives in the Greater Toronto area. He didn't move. Just. I said somebody asked me the time, and Jake Raines asked me the time in Alaska. So.
Yeah.
Yes, Midnight Sam. I'm wearing my Caps 50th hoodie right now and a Caps hat. Actually, I normally don't wear a lot of that stuff. Hendrix Lapierre, a first and a third for Kyrou. I do that because I love
Washington. Yeah, for sure.
Because Hendrix Lapierre is not playing at the NHL level right now. He's playing in. I would do that. I don't know how they would fit that in though. They'd have to move somebody else too. They really need to have an LTIR. Yeah. So. We have 58 in the chat live right now, 22 minutes in, 21 on X, 37 on YouTube. Please hit a like, subscribe, share the stream, retweet it out if you want, and tag me at beard_sports. My Twitter handle is there, scrolling in the thing. Also, Pearlo's is and Rico's are. And you can read, I think Rico is Wings Fan 79. Rico, am I wrong?
Wings _fan 79.
Right.
I made it in like 2009. I was one of the OGs on Twitter. It's like it just did my Hotmail, basically first name of my Hotmail. I didn't even get
gave out your email to everybody. You just gave out your email to everybody. What's going on, Angry Canadian? I hope you're not angry tonight. I hope you're in a great mood. Jack Fleming. I'd move Mangiapane. No, Mangiapane's been great for the Caps. He was really good last night.
I got a trade.
Yeah, he was great. I'd keep Mangiapane. Mangiapane is a guy they would have to move to get a guy like Kyrou probably, but yeah, I don't.
Go ahead.
Or Eller, but Eller doesn't make much, Jack. So go ahead, Rico.
What about a deal involving Jordan Kyrou going to the LA Kings and Brant Clark coming the other way? St. Louis needs right-hand shot defenseman.
Man, we can't trade Brant Clark, right? I mean, there's no way Rob
LA needs scoring.
I don't think he's.
I like that one. I like that one. Brian T. Schaff. I hope it's Schalf.
Martinez to LA. That's a good one.
I like that one. I like Chicago. They would just probably get a pick. They don't really need to get a bunch back. Maybe they move somebody else, but I'm sure a lot of people would do Brant Clark. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
sure.
not one for one. I'm saying a deal involving those two players.
Yeah.
LA
I
needs
just don't think
scoring.
Clark
St. Louis
on the
needs
table.
right-hand shot.
I don't
I
think
do
Clark-
think that Kyrou would fit in well in LA. Because you don't need size in that lineup. They have enough of that. And he would give you that speedy winger look. By the way, there are live games going on right now. We've got Edmonton underway. That period is almost over, scoreless. Chicago has played a lot better. I'm going to root for my guy Alex Vlasic tonight. Team USA 2026. And then we have the Canadians Kings on too. That game is on. So, sorry, didn't mean for you to hear that. Tonight's lines are Kopitar, Turcotte, Kempe. So Lafreniere, Quentin Byfield, Kevin Fiala, Warren Fogle, Philip Deneau, Trevor Moore, Tanner Jeannot, Akil Thomas, and Trevor Lewis. That is your lines for the LA Kings. If they give the Montreal ones, I would do it. I would do Clark for Smith, Clark and Smith for Kyrou. Brant Clark is in the lineup tonight. It's Gavrikov, Doughty, Edmondson, Clark, Mulvaire, and Jordan Spence. Remember, too, LA lost Roy to the Capitals in free agency. He's played really well. So
music.
it's Sloth. It's German. Okay. I thought so, man, but I wasn't sure. Thank you for helping me out with that, Brian. Appreciate you. We'll just go by first names. It's easier. Red Wings need upgrades on right D if they're to make trades at the deadline. Yeah, I see you, Jim Johnson. I see you there. Could be the case. Damn, Foligno flattened somebody for Ed. I don't know who 49 is for Ed. Is that Ty Emerson?
Yep, Emerson.
Yeah, Emerson. Yep. So 2.6 seconds. Foligno laying the body. He's not lazy. So, do you guys feel like we've talked about this enough? I feel like we've left this up for a while. We're good on the Kyrou to
Islanders.
Yeah, I think we've kind of beat that horse. I will look for this Sidney Crosby injury. I don't know. I know Frank tweeted out what?
Saravelli has it on his Twitter.
Yeah, Frank did. Yeah, I think I had it there too. I had it. I think we showed it last night, actually. Did we not? Okay. I thought we showed it last night too.
Yeah, we did. We did, yeah.
So
it did look weird, and then I thought, is he really? And then he was really gritting his teeth on the way to the bench, man. He got hurt. He was really good.
Now it's like Four Nations is around the corner and Crosby's hurt.
Yeah, it's tough, but I mean, he looked.
Yeah, the Penguins are going to sell. They're not making the playoffs, guys. They're not making the playoffs, so that's just not happening.
If you're trading Pettersson, you're trading more than that. There's one we can talk about after too. We got that winger. Why do names escape me?
I don't know about Mitch Marner's injury. Rico, are you tracking Mitch Marner's injury? I hadn't heard why he was out. What's he just day to day? I had heard. What's the Raquel is a guy I definitely think gets traded or they could get something. Yeah. Well, they caught the bat in Chicago. They did catch the bat. There was a live bat flying around in Chicago. So no, I think you're right, Artis. We won't see Crosby get traded. Although Pearlo believes we may see him get traded at some point, and he could, like, at the end of his contract here. In a year or two, they could move him at the deadline if they're just like, So Luke, Phil says, who else is lukewarm on the Four Nations thing? I could care less myself, he says. I don't know. I'm a little excited about it. I'm kind of looking forward to a little bit of a break. But we'll see. I mean, I think it'll be exciting. Who dropped out today, too? I missed that news and could not find it. Who dropped out of the Four Nations again? Was it due to injury or, well, Crosby will have to if he's hurt.
Well, Pietrangelo did.
Right? We know that. That's not news.
Somebody else?
No.
Oh,
But
Yeah,
I
there
guess
was-
Marner's going to take the morning skate tomorrow before the Kraken game, and Berube said he's just going to evaluate him when he skates tomorrow and just see how he feels, and they're just kind of being tight-lipped about it.
Okay. But that's like Toronto with everything as far as injuries go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Salvatore, I don't disagree. I think they should have just done 6 teams or 8 teams. And I mean, just get Germany a team.
Czechs and Russian.
Yeah, Czech, Russia. You could probably have Germany, and then maybe you do Sweden, or I'm sorry, are doing Switzerland, excuse me. So if you did 8, it would feel better. So yeah, Miro Heiskanen now, guys, is month to month. So that is why we believe they made the move for Granlund and CC right away. They didn't waste. And like Frank said on our show Monday, they must not like the draft prospects. And I'll just tell you, they know they're going to be picking in the 20s. Has there anybody done a better job than Jim Neal in that scouting department in Dallas? I mean, so go ahead, Rico.
Not at all. And if you look at the forecast for their prospect, like if you check out Dallas's system, there's not much there anymore because most of their players are up in the NHL right now with the injury to Sagan and Heiskanen and stuff. If you look at their depth in their farm team, there's not a lot there now. They've been picking pretty high the last few years. And I mean, they've nailed guys before like Otger and Stakov and Johnson stuff, but yeah, if they're one of the worst systems in league as far as guys in their system and not up with the team right now.
Yeah. But they've got so many guys up on their team right now that it seems like it's not that big.
I heard they were playing 7 rookies on the team currently.
Yeah.
So Oscar back, got to be one of them. Haven't heard him. Leon Bichelle is one of them. They got to figure out that right shot. You know who could use Brant Clark? The Dallas Stars. But who do you trade for him? You know, because you could. Lyubushkin is a guy you probably don't want to play on your top pair, obviously. So you're just real.
What, Dumba, CC, and Lyubushkin down the right side?
It's Lyubushkin, CC, Dumba right now. Christian Kyrou. Yeah, Christian Kyrou could get called up there. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. HTH. Oh, yeah, Quinn Hughes could miss 4 nations too, Salvatore. That is correct. He's out right now. This is starting to shape up pretty bad, this 4 nations again. If the NHL put it on, why not do the tournament before the season? I don't know. I got to figure out who else is missing. I know Kipper and them, but I actually had a phone call today. I couldn't walk away from it. So I know Kipper was going to talk about it. NHL player drops out of 4 nations. I couldn't. You guys didn't hear anything today, huh?
No, I was looking it up. I can't seem to find anything on that.
Yeah.
No, just Heiskanen, Crosby, Marner, Hughes, like beyond that, Pietrangelo, not much beyond that.
Well, obviously, yeah, so the top news is Pietrangelo. Yeah, the NHL isn't going to sit players out. Yeah, I don't see any new news, but look, Hot Take says Raquel for William Karlsson. Does Vegas do that? I heard Karlsson's actually been banged up.
Yeah, I don't know if they do that.
Oh, William Karlsson dropped off. Carmen said, yeah, William Karlsson. Thank you. William Karlsson was the other name. Thank you. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's injured. Yeah, that's the guy.
Get Cousins out of that environment while he fights. See, I thought Blended Cousins was a natural fit for Vancouver. He's from like Northwest Territories. It's not insanely far from where he's from. You bring him back on the right side of the country for him or the left side, depending on how you're looking at the map. And yeah, no, I got you. Oh, Raquel is in for Sweden. Raquel is in. Raquel is taking William Karlsson's
Okay,
Yeah,
that's what.
sorry,
Wasn't afraid.
HGH. Yeah, thank you.
It wasn't
I couldn't
afraid.
find
It's
it
just
anywhere.
Raquel going to play for William.
Yeah, William Karlsson's banged up. Yeah, boy, Vegas too, man. They're struggling to score goals now too. They got to figure. I mean, again, they can win 1-0 games in the playoffs, but it's like they got to figure it out there. But this rest will be good for them, right? So,
yeah, there won't be any rest for Florida Panthers players. They have a ton of guys going.
Yeah, Petey, I don't think Benson is a guy that you guys want in Vancouver. Nothing against Benson. I think you could get a defensive player. To me, it's Byram, Power, or Dahlin, and I don't see them trading Dahlin and Power. So to me, it's get Byram. That helps. You're going to offload Carson Soucy too. Maybe you move Soucy to Buffalo. Maybe it's Soucy and Pettersson, and you get Cousins, Byram, and then maybe like Jack Quinn or something if you feel like you need to even it out there. I can't call Dallas without a cup commander, but how bad is the right side right now? Yeah, I think that's a general consensus, Darkness. I think that is too. Salty, if you got, thanks for being with us, Salty. Good to see you, by the way. Salty says, I hope Yzerman buys a little. We don't need to go crazy. I think they'll add. I mean, they're in the mix, right, guys? So,
that's a team I could see maybe grabbing a Raquel for or something like that for a little boost going into the playoffs. I could see
who?
Detroit.
Okay, yeah, I don't know where they're
just
sitting
for a little boost. They wouldn't give up their first or anything, but they've got some decent prospects they could throw out there if they're confident they're going to make the playoffs. You could see that.
Yeah, for sure. So Detroit has $1.8 million in cap space right now. So they'd have to move something out to get a player like Raquel, but
yeah.
I mean, really the problem is they have a movement no trade clause under DeBrincat. They're not going to trade him. Kopp, movement no trade clause. Compher, movement no trade clause. But Compher's on IR. So he could help. He's $5 million could help. So that probably gives them some space there to make a move.
Maybe a guy like Joseph Bellino. Bellino's has been really wanting to play higher up in the lineup, and he's kind of buried there. So, and he's making 2.2, and that would cut it off a little bit, and then some picks or whatever.
Apple juice don't have fizz.
Jack Maloney says, honestly, he thinks the Buffalo's too scared to make a big swing. They got to make some. But I will say this, Jack. Here's the thing about Buffalo. They don't need to be in a rush. One, they have $4.8 million in cap space right now. Yes, Jordan Greenway's on IR for them, but he's a UFA after this year. So they're probably not bringing him back. Jason Zucker's a UFA. I think they would maybe try to bring Zucker back. He's been a good fit there. And then Samuelson, who's an assistant, is on the IR. They got him signed long-term, so they're not going to trade him. But Byram, who's going to have RFA rights, Yoki Haru, RFA rights, both right shot D, by the way. Byram's not right shot, but he can play the right side. And then you've got Bison and Gilbert, and then James Reimer they have, and then Felix Sandstrom. They obviously they're hoping that Levi can be at some point the guy that brings them, gets them another goalie at the NHL level. But Luukkonen they have signed long-term for like 5 years, 4 more after this year at $4.75. That's a good deal. Luukkonen's only 25. So Connor Dewar to Buffalo. Yeah, I don't think you have to give much up for Connor Dewar, Brian. So yeah, I think the Flames could be adding still. It sounds like they might be in the mix again. Let's see who they end up tossing if they are working out a deal. I mean, Cousins is signed for a very long time at $7.1 million. So he's only 23 though. So would Buffalo give Rantanen $14 million? I think just about anybody outside of Colorado would give Rantanen probably $14 million.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be far and away the highest paid winger after this free agency. If he goes to free agent at this point, if you're Rantanen, why wouldn't you go to free agency? Here's something that would blow you guys' mind. By the way, leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications. You can drop in a dono if you'd like. All proceeds go to building this channel, Hot Take Hockey. We're not asking, we appreciate it, but you're always welcome to. Utah will be hunting blended, I think. Yeah, they could go 14.5. I think there'll be a lot of teams in on Rantanen. What if Colorado somehow gets Rantanen back?
Yeah, I mean, that would be
like in the off season.
That would be weird. Because the whole point was they didn't want to pay one guy that much money when they're paying McKinnon. So
everybody's like, oh, they got to pay McCarr. McCarr's deal's not up for like 3 years.
Yeah.
By then the cap's going to be so big, they'll be able to pay McCarr $20 million a year.
Yeah.
And if you're McCarr, do you take the 8 years? Do you just take you do like Matthews? I don't know. So anyway, okay. McFarland has lost the trust. Really? You feel so? I don't know. Or did he lose the trust? Mando Bando 900. Great name, by the way. Mando Bando. Okay. Rantanen not signing in Carolina. Well, we'll see. If Carolina moved him before the playoffs, though, Pearlo, you think that could happen, huh?
Well, he just brought it up, and then it clicked in my head. They could have traded him, just trying to see if they could sign him, and knowing that, heck, at the deadline you could get a same kind of package back anyway. So give it a shot as possible. That is really interesting. I never really thought about that, but like you said, Jeremiah, there's no way in heck they cannot sign him. There's no way.
They have to do everything they can in their power.
Have to sign him. Yeah.
They have to do everything in their power to sign him.
You'd have to think that they talked to his agent or something. He seems so surprised by the trade. His agent would have to keep it quiet or something. I don't know.
Yeah, or his buddy Aho basically said, hey, can't wait to play in the Four Nations with you. Oh, by the way, what are you looking for? We'd love to have you here. LOL.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he tells them, and then he goes into more and says, hey, we can get Rantanen. He'd probably sign here for this.
Yes, lefty all around. They did sign Marcus Pettersson. I will pull it back up on the page for you. Oh, what's going on?
Marcus Pettersson's tall too. He's lanky. He's got a long stick. He's got a good stick. Marcus Pettersson. It's hard to get to the net when he's around.
He was so underrated. I thought it was a great pickup, and I think he thinks he's underrated for taking 5.5. That's a 7.5 defense.
Yeah, fire the agent.
Fire the agent. Yeah. Yeah.
Why am I getting Chris Johnson's tweets from 2020? 2021. 2021. Is Twitter broken? 2021, 2023. What's going on? Anyway, I was going to pull that deal up for you, but it doesn't want to come up. So, let's, hold on. Let me pull that up again. I guess I got to sign in. I'm hearing thumping. Somebody thumping. Yeah,
somebody's thumping. Somebody better not be thumping my wife.
Rico.
Again.
Who here's thumping?
Okay, buddy. Calgary ain't dropping out. I agree. I thought they had a bad game the other night, but they, in fairness too, let's just say Canucks have signed Marcus Pettersson to a 6-year, $5.5 million extension there. That's the deal there. Left y'all around. Sorry, I'll pop it back up on you. It went away. I guess I got signed out at Twitter X. I don't know what happened there. Oh,
there we are.
Yeah, no worries. It never happens. So, okay, that is the deal. It is 5-5. So good stuff. I think that's a great deal for Vancouver, honestly. So, we'll leave that up on the thing. We talked about the Crosby being out, Nylander never scoring at Scotiabank. The Calder race, we didn't even get to talk about it tonight. I think we'll have to save it for another night, guys, because we've got to talk about the games tomorrow, which we can pop on right now. And then I love that Kipper was talking about banning the reviews. I would love to get rid of the reviews. I think it's hurting the game of hockey so much. Who cares? Who cares if it's offsides by this much? I'm over it. And then the goal, what's goaltender interference anymore? The stuff I think is going to be a goal is not a goal. The stuff I think is not going to be a goal is a goal. I have no idea. So I'm just kind of over it when it comes to that. So I see a lot of comments in the chat. I'm trying to catch up with you guys here. Oh, yes, absolutely, Jim. That was definitely a part of the contract discussions with them, for sure. If you're Rutherford, you're not making that move unless you have an extension in place. Good call. Knock, knock, Carolina. Like, you should be getting this deal done. Jamie Bangles girl, I love this fight for 2 spots between the Avs, Flames, and Canucks. Yeah, Jamie, I love it too. I think, and we'll just pull up the standings real quick here.
Beard, I would have been a lot more comfortable if Carolina would sign him fairly soon, like Vancouver did with Pettersson. Trade for Pettersson, sign Pettersson days later. Trade for Rantanen, hits the open market. Why wouldn't you? I mean, you're talking double, triple the money that Pettersson's going to get. What? I mean, unless Carolina meets the number he wants. But
so, guys, if nothing changes in the playoffs, do you know what our round 1 matchup is going to be with Colorado? The Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I hope that happens. I hope that Colorado is the first wild card and Edmonton wins the division, and it's Edmonton, Colorado. Wow, that would make for an unbelievable series. Yeah. I like Colorado. There's no way. I like Colorado.
I'd like the Oilers in that one myself, personally. Depending on what Colorado does.
Right, Colorado's got to add, right?
Yeah,
they've got to add,
and we don't know what Edmonton's.
But Edmonton needs to add too right now.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you, Jamie. Problem for Colorado is no production from their second line. A big problem is Casey Middlestat. I've heard he's on the block. They're looking to move him. Avs are playing first line guys way too much versus Vancouver. Yep. This is kind of like Edmonton was a while ago. This is why I think they made the move, quite frankly, to get some space to have a little bit of maneuvering. Nothing against Rantanen, but they're like, man, we're having a hard time now. We need to add depth. So I give McFarland some credit. He made a move that was extremely difficult to make. Carmen says, I like the Avs. I'm with you, Carmen. Colorado could have went for JT Miller, him and McKinnon. Yeah, I just don't think they would have traded Miller for Middlestat. I think that's the problem. I think that's probably the issue. So it's going to be interesting. Anyway, that will be crazy if this is the way it shapes up. So right now on the outside looking in, Vancouver, I really feel like all these other teams are probably not going to make it. It's really Vancouver, Calgary for that last spot. And then whoever falls back, like obviously LA could fall back. You know, it doesn't help that they're 3-6-1 in their last 10. But they've won 1. And by the way, LA is up 1-0 on Montreal. We still have a scoreless game in the Edmonton Chicago game in Chicago. No other games on tonight, just the first game. Rangers beat the Bruins 3-2. Nice little comeback win, the game winner, a shorthander. Let's start talking about tomorrow's games. So, yeah, most explosive potential first round matchups. Edmonton, Colorado, please let that happen. Vegas, LA. LA is a bad matchup for Vegas, I think. Winnipeg, Calgary. I think Winnipeg walks through Calgary, which is they deserve it. We need to see Winnipeg go on a run here again, guys. Make it to the conference finals, maybe the Stanley Cup. Would be great for Winnipeg. Dallas, Minnesota, Florida, Tampa Bay, Toronto, Ottawa. Let's have it. Yeah. So the New York Rangers are not making the playoffs. They're just not. They're not making the playoffs. They have 53 games played. They're at 56 points. They have to catch Detroit, Tampa, Boston, and they beat Boston tonight. But Boston has 4 more points. Now, Boston's played a couple more games. Columbus and the Islanders all have more points. I just don't think the Rangers are going to do it. They're just, you know, it's going to be a condensed schedule. They're a veteran team. It's not my personal bias. I feel like right now, New York, Montreal, Pittsburgh, you know, Philly, those teams are on the outside looking in. So, you know, yeah, it would be good for Winnipeg. Yeah, Winnipeg, Edmonton playing Calgary and Vancouver would be great. Double Canadian Western matchup. That only thing that sucks about that is you lose the Canadian teams. But Canadian matchups are always awesome in the playoffs. They never disappoint. Okay, guys, we need to talk about the other games that are happening tomorrow before we call it a night. So here's what we got. I'm waiting for it to load. I apologize. Yes. Yeesh. Okay. All right. I don't know what's going on. The internet is deciding. So we will just go with Krusty BR. By the way, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 2:30 Eastern, Hot Take Hockey does his show on Bleacher Report. So be sure to tune into that if you get a chance. It always gets in the way of me doing something, which is so, yeah, look, actually, Blended, that's not the case, man. Usually my internet's fine. I just think the NHL website's garbage. So it's kind of just not been good. So they just have had some problems. Okay, so tomorrow's games are as follows. Golden Knights at Devils. Boy, neither of these teams have played well, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. And Vegas on the road right now, I just can't back them no matter what.
There's no favorite in this game. Well, a slight favorite is I guess the Devils minus 115.
Yeah.
Vegas is minus 105.
You like Vegas? Yeah, I'm taking New Jersey. Vegas, there's something wrong in Vegas right now. So I'm taking New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rico, how are you feeling?
Vegas in this spot. I mean, I just don't trust New Jersey's goaltending right now. Vegas lost 4 in a row. New Jersey was just at home against Vegas and at Montreal after this coming up. So a little bit of a weird spot after come back from Pittsburgh. I think Vegas just needs to play. I'll probably take the under. I think it'll probably be a low event game, but
yeah,
right, for sure. Yeah, I like the under there too, for sure. Okay, so the next game, which should have been the first game, really, we talked about Senators Lightning. That's a huge game for playoff implications. The Lightning need it more than the Senators at this point. I don't know where you guys are on that one. That is a 5.5 as well. I kind of like the over in that one.
So it's a back-to-back. It's 2 games in Tampa in a row for Ottawa here. Just a kind of weird scheduling blip, but and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's just 3 games in 4 nights for the Sens too.
Yeah,
tough spot.
So Sens are, if they lose this game, they're not really in a bad way. They have 54 games played, sitting at third place, 62 points. Tampa Bay is at 52 games played, sitting at 60 points. So if Tampa wins this one, you probably give them the flip-flop, and then we get Tampa Leafs in the first round. Honestly, if I'm Toronto, I don't hate that matchup because I feel like they've kind of slayed that Tampa demon. So I think the Sens would be a much harder matchup for Toronto, quite frankly. Jim Johnson likes Tampa for Sens too. I can't disagree with that. I definitely like the over in that for whatever reason. Pearlo, where are you at on that game?
This will be Allmark's first game in a long time. Oh, it's already his second game. Is this his second game?
No, I think you're right. I think Allmark's back.
I think Allmark's back. This will be his second game.
Yeah, he didn't play the last game.
The first one, too. I think this is going to be a tough game because Senators just lost the Lightning. And like I said, 3 games in 4 nights. Give me the draw here. I think they both need the points. So I think it's going to be a tough game. Maybe the Lightning pull it out in the end.
Allmark played last game.
That's
Allmark
an
played.
This is did he? Thank you, Rico.
Mhm.
And I'll tell you, this is a nightmare. Scenario if you're the New York Rangers and New York Rangers fans. If both these teams end up getting points, that just F's you even more.
Yeah.
So this is why you can't go on a 14 game like skid where you don't get points.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, sorry about it. Ottawa's plus 136. That'd be the only reason why I would maybe jump on them. Okay, the third game of the night, Capitals Flyers. Flyers have traded off a bunch of pieces. Capitals are one of the best teams in the NHL. There's no way I would not pick Washington here.
Yeah.
I don't know where you guys at.
No brainer. I already got it before it goes. The price goes even higher. I got Washington already money line.
Yeah, I will take the under here too. Washington was at home.
Darkness, you're putting money on the Flyers? Show me your betting slip. DM me that betting slip.
Why don't you just buy us all a couple beer and get it over with?
Yeah, dude. Sorry about it, Darkness. That's a waste of money. The Capitals, by the way, are 3-0 against the Flyers this year. That's about right, Jim Johnson. That's a score, right?
What are you saying you're going to go with the Flyers, Rico? I don't.
No. I'm going to take the under here because after that game against Florida at home, they go to Philly real quick, and then they're at home against the Utah. So this is a quick trip to Philly, then back to Washington after this. I think it's going to be an under game.
By the way, 4-1 would be the under. So I'm with Jim Johnson with the 4-1 there. Yeah, no, sorry guys. All these people with the Flyers upset. You're lunatics. They just traded away Farabee Frost. They added Kuzmenko. The Flyers have not looked good. They're not getting secondary scoring. I'm just saying the Flyers can win this game. Clearly, that can happen. It's in Philly, so that can clearly happen. Last change. Do not think it happens. So there's too many people doubting the best record in the East right now. Yes, Salvatore. Put money on Ovechkin to score.
They're practically an NHL roster right now going up against the best team of the East. I mean, Washington's winning that game.
Yeah. If you are picking Philly, you clearly have not watched the Capitals play. So
bad spot or not, doesn't matter. Washington wins that game. For sure.
We said this. No, I didn't say that, Blended. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't pick that game. I didn't like that one. Canucks are in it, though. I mean, I think they feel like they're a little more relaxed, but no Quinn Hughes. They won that game against Colorado. I think that says more about Colorado than it does about Vancouver right now. So Edmonton on the power play, by the way, 0-0 still, like almost halfway through the game.
Still 1-0, 20-14 by Chicago, too.
Yeah, good for Chicago, man. I love seeing the event, them getting up there and starting to play some good hockey. So, scoring down in the NHL across the board everywhere. So, Paul Paduti wrote an article about it on Daily Faceoff. Check it out if you guys get a chance. I'll try to include the link in it if I find it before we're done here. Let's move on, though. We have 9 games to cover. We've done 3. Utah Hockey Club Blue Jackets. Utah is the favorite. This is in Columbus, plus 130. I just feel with Berchenko out, it's tough. I hope Catherine Craig is listening. Catherine, sorry about your Blue Jackets. I don't know what's going on there. Where are you guys on that one? 5.5 is the over-under. Plus 130 Blue Jackets, Road Dogs. Blended likes to bet on the plus. Huh?
The Jackets are at home after a bit of a trip, but they last played in Buffalo, so it's just a quick trip back home after that.
And they lost that game.
Yeah, and then the Blue Jackets lost at Utah, so you think they'll want their number in this game. Just Columbus at home, just different. The effort's a little different at home. I mean, Gunther's back now, so you're getting some scoring back with Utah. So, yeah, tough call. I think it's a close game. I might even take a draw.
Yeah, I like to draw in Columbus.
Yeah, that's fair. I could see that happening. Okay.
Yeah.
Wild host the Hurricanes.
Oh, man. That's another tough one, too. Carolina coming off that shutout against Winnipeg, and Minnesota's, I think, we're just on the road as well. So I think they're coming back home. Mostly kind of Eastern Central time zone. But, I mean, Minnesota hasn't scored a goal in 2 games either. So, I mean, geez.
Brian's saying that Jason Dickinson got injured in the game. They did kill that penalty. It's still 0-0. Jamie likes this game. Interesting, Wild Hurricane. I mean, Wild are still missing. Are they still missing Kaprizov?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like he came back, but he's out again.
Yeah.
So, and Lauko. But that's about it for them. Tyson Jost, William Carrier, and Jesper Fast all out for Carolina. Now, Jesper Fast is out for the season, so we know that. Oh, Oilers scored. Oilers just scored.
And Hartman as well.
Arvidsson.
Obviously, Hartman's on his hiatus.
Jamie likes, I'm going Carolina 2-1 or 1-0. You like that kind of score. That could be it. I feel like Minnesota has all their defenders back. That could be good.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's going to sound weird, but I'm going on a sneaky over here. When you got two teams that are struggling to score and they go up against each other, they're both working on offense. For some reason, it happens a lot where they go over the total. And it's a weird over, I know, because Minnesota hasn't scored in a while and all that stuff. But I've been, with all the years I've been capping these spots, for some reason they go over, and I think that's probably going to be an over 5.5.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
It's weird how that happens.
Panthers Blues Blues plus 145. To me, the Panthers have been like the most mid team in the NHL. I don't know about Hartman's suspension. We just know, I don't know if he's going to do an appeal. I think ultimately they probably uphold that appeal. I mean, maybe they give him a couple breaks. They give him a little breaks because that was quite pricey. It was $487,000 suspension. But dude, stop doing dirty stuff on the ice. Like, Hartman's done stuff in the face-off alone that they've dinged him up for. So he's kind of lucky he's gotten away with some stuff, so he probably just got to do it here. Jim likes Panthers 4-2. Blended Panthers 3-2 in a shootout. Darkness 100% Panthers in the over. Darkness is the most self-loathing Blues fan I know. Jamie likes the Panthers. Mando Bando 900 4-2. I'm guessing Panthers 4-2. He's got the Panthers. So he likes the over with the game you were talking about as well, Pearlo. Okay. Rico, did you give your pick here? Oh, Rico, you're muted.
Sorry. I'll take the draw here. St. Louis has been a couple close games, especially last one against the Oilers went to overtime. I think this is the same type of game. 3-2, probably Panthers and OT.
Probably why they'll win, Darkness. Just saying.
I agree.
Chris says Blues 20, Panthers 0. You should bet that, Chris. See how that comes out for you. If you bet that, you probably would be, if anybody would even give you the odds for that. By the way, Montreal's on the power play, 8:17 left in the first. It's 1-0 Kings still. Okay, so we're moving on from the Blues. Avalanche at Flames plus 136. I like the Flames. No joke. I like the Flames at 5.5.
So do I.
Colorado's having a tough time scoring.
I like the Flames. I think I just like their battle right now, and they're going to beat teams because they're going to outfight them. And I don't.
Yeah, they're going to be really disappointed in their performance against the Leafs. I don't
see too much fight in Colorado right now. So
and the Flames and Colorado's at the Oilers the very next night. So this is a bit of a dead spot for Colorado.
For sure.
Flames come at you hard. They don't stop. They don't quit. And Colorado's going to have to put a 60-minute effort in there knowing they're playing the next night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Did you like – do you know who is the leading goal scorer for the Colorado Avalanche now that Rantanen's not on the team?
Lehkonen.
So, by the way, Rantanen didn't have over 20 goals because he's not the leading scorer for the Hurricanes. Seth Jarvis is with 20.
If it's not McKinnon, it's Lehkonen, no?
It's Lehkonen with 21 goals. 21 goals is all. So, like, Alexander Ovechkin has 25 goals. So, 39-year-old Ovechkin. I know someone
broke his leg.
Yeah, and he broke his leg and missed a month. He'd have 35. He'd be right there with Draisaitl he'd be competing for the I think Draisaitl's at like 39 or some ridiculousness. Draisaitl might be the only guy that gets to 50 this year.
Yeah, talk about not backing into the goal the goal scoring record. Talk about not backing into it, just like going full bore and having a great
love
goal
it.
scoring season.
I love it. I'll be disappointed if he doesn't get it this year for sure. I'm gonna go to maybe the last few games if he hasn't gotten it. We're gonna get. It looks like it'll be some road games, but we'll see. Yeah. So Maple Leafs crack. Oh, did you give your pick? Pearlo, Avalanche, Flames. You both were on that.
Yeah, I like the Flames.
Yeah. Huberdeau has 20 goals. He's for the things. Yep. Okay. Everybody's on the Flames. I like the Flames too. Maple Leafs at Kraken. There's no way I'm not taking the Maple Leafs. They're humming right now. They're humming, and the Kraken are not good. They need to be sellers big time. They need to be getting rid of some of these really good players they have that could help somebody else. He doesn't have 12 empty netters blended. Guess what? Mikko Rantanen leads the NHL in empty red netters.
Yeah.
So you should look that up.
I'll give this.
And your team has to be winning to get empty netters. So, a lot of people thought the Caps weren't going to be that good. So
I'll give this one to the Leafs fan, my bro, Rico. What do you like there, bud?
Yeah, I'll take the Leafs too. Like when I watch Seattle, there's no scoring. I mean, you're relying on Jaden Schwartz to put the puck in the net every night. Like you said the other night, Beard McCann is just not the same player this year. I mean, Beniers isn't scoring right now. Eberle's out. Like it just just a tough year, man.
I heard Eberle's on his way back though. He's close. I don't know I don't know how far out he is, but I think he's actually skating now. So they're missing Riker Evans, Eberle, and obviously Yanni Gourde. Yanni Gourde for a while, it looks like. But the Leafs are missing Mitch Marner, lower body, it's saying day-to-day. Timmins, upper body. Stolarz. I heard Stolarz is close to coming back. I heard Valaket say on Kipper and Bourne show it would be good to give Stolarz maybe one start before the Four Nations break. Just kind of give him something to build off. We'll see if they do that. So, yeah, Jack, I agree. Protoss making $3.5 million. It's scoring lots of goals, and he's a plus 30. He's doing a really good job. So Seattle will not beat Stolarz his first game back. Oh, 3-0. Is it Stolarz in net for sure, Salvatore? Have we confirmed that Stolarz is in net? Let's see. Yes.
Not confirmed yet.
Okay. I was going to say Rico's a Leafs fan, guys, if you don't know. So he pays attention. And Pearlo is, I guess you're an Oilers fan, Pearlo. Now you don't live there.
I pay about as much attention to every other team as I do the Oilers.
Pearlo watches a divorce-worthy amount of hockey. Yeah. You could ask him anything.
And think about a divorce-worthy amount of hockey. Yeah. Anyways, the Toronto game, Toronto in regulation, do it right now because by morning it's not going to be this price. Seattle is just terrible. It's a terrible spot for Toronto, but they're still going to win easy.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Okay. I don't know how you pick Seattle if you see them play Toronto. And Toronto needs to keep winning. Like they got to keep winning too. So final game of the night, 10:30, Canucks, Sharks plus 154. I actually thought Sharks kind of got jobbed a little bit. Had a tough couple breaks against Montreal. Could have won that game. Still 1-0, by the way, Kings with about 5 minutes left in the first. That game has gone slow. They must have had some review. I know the puck dropped late too. So, and Edmonton's still up 1-0. Do we get a Connor Bedard goal tonight too, by the way, just for those scores? And then earlier score 3-2 Rangers over the Boston Bruins. Final game of the night, Canucks, Sharks. Where are you guys at? Blended likes the Sharks 3-2. I always like the Sharks at plus money. They're just fun to watch. So, but now without Granlund, without CC, I just wonder, are they going to have a tough time competing? But we'll see. Where are you guys at?
Trying to get everything right now after that trade and everything, and they need the points. And I've said before, anybody that needs the points against San Jose is going to win it. So I got regulation.
Yeah.
So,
your top line for the Sharks is Macklin, Celebrini, William, Eklund, Tyler Toffoli. I like that line.
It's a good line.
Darkness says Sharks 3-1. Jim says Canucks 4-2. Sharks blow a third, lose by 2. I think you could almost always bet the Sharks plus 1.5 and win money because they're always in games and they lost to Montreal 4-3. The second line is Fabian Zetterlund, Andrew Pertolowski, and Will Smith. And then Colin Graff, Luke Kunin, and Barclay Goodrow. Good third line. Fourth line is Carl Grundstrom, Colin White, and Walker Dewar. I think they picked Walker Dewar up on waivers. Jake Wallman, Henry Thrun, Mario Ferraro, Jack Thompson are your top 4D, and Shakir Mekahabadulin and Timothy Liljegren. Their D is actually not bad. They've got pretty good D. Obviously, they felt good enough trading CC away. So I just think special teams hurts there too, missing a guy there. Canucks 5-2 says Brian. Yeah, Canucks can't lose this game if they want a playoff spot. That is right, Blended. I think very much that is cute. Sharks next year could be what the Flames are this year, a team that comes out of nowhere. I don't think it'll be out of nowhere, but for sure, Darkness, I agree. They got more coming for certain. Yeah, there you go.
Chris not anything different for this, Rico? Sometimes you see a lean that I'm not seeing.
I can't see Vancouver not banking points. I mean, it might take a couple goal props at San Jose guys because at home they'll play the matchup. So Celebrini and Toffoli, they'll probably get some favorable
Vancouver's
matchups
got
down
the Leafs
there.
after this too.
But
absolutely,
probably taking over maybe here.
Yeah, it is a tough spot because they go from Colorado to San Jose. And
yeah, that's like the Colin White, the well-traveled.
Yeah. Making a name for himself.
That's the Colin White. San Jose signed him, eh?
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy because I went to Cuba. I went to Cuba one year. I met a guy at the resort. We went golfing. All of a sudden, there's two guys came over in a golf cart looking for their ball. Took a picture with them after. It turned out it was Curtis Lazar and Colin White when they were playing for the Senators. I ran into him at a resort.
Where's Lazar at? He's playing somewhere tonight.
New Jersey.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He was a
then
top.
Then we hit the club later.
Like a top 10 pick.
I don't think he was that high.
Got a good time in the club
15 or something Cuba. Like that. I think he was top 15 somewhere around there. Yeah, I think he was.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the show tonight. Still two great games, very close. 5 minutes left in the second for Edmonton, Chicago. Looks like there's going to be a penalty here. 2 minutes for tripping. Don't know if that's on. It looks like that might be on Connor Bedard. That's kind of a soft call. Don't like that call. Stay on your feet, Draisaitl. And then 5'0" Connor Bedard knocked you down. Okay, whatever. And 2 minutes in the first, Kings up 1-0 again. The Rangers 3-2. Leave a like, subscribe. We'll be back live tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern, to talk about the 9 games that are tomorrow. So there'll be a lot of games, and then Friday there'll be 5 games. So, and then Saturday, 14 games to preview. So Friday we have a lot of games to preview. Almost the entire league is playing. And then Sunday is the last games of the week. So Friday will be our last show for a while. Rico's going to Mexico. Pearlo, what are you doing with the break?
I'm going to spend a heck of a lot of time with Caroline, my wife. She's been, like I said, I watch a divorce-worthy amount of hockey. So when I have time, I'm going to take the week, and we're going to do whatever the heck she wants to do for the week.
Yeah.
We might go to Chicago. Chicago.
Okay, go to Chicago. You're only, a couple hours away? 3-4 hours away?
Yeah.
3 hours away. Yes, definitely. Maybe I would say go to a game, but there won't be any hockey. So
won't be any hockey. Yeah,
you probably could get into an NBA game for cheap, right? The last time the Bulls were good, Michael Jordan played for him. So that was the Bulls of if you're reborn. So hey, everybody, I appreciate everybody. We had 50 people in the chat, all consistent between the two platforms, X and I really appreciate it. We're going to work on getting some good guests. Hot Take Hockey and I will be streaming some of the Four Nations face-off stuff. So it'll be either him or I or together. So we'll do 1 or 2 of those games. Obviously, U.S.-Canada will do that game for sure. So look for us there. I may be coming live from Arizona when that's going on. So we'll see. Get out of here one more time, but we'll see. I don't know what's going on there. I appreciate everybody. And hopefully we get some more news. I think we're going to see a few more trades before this Four Nations face off. But yeah, we'll see everybody tomorrow at 10. Appreciate y'all. Have a great night.
See you later, guys.
Remember, this is the show for puckheads by puckheads.